A couple of weeks ago, I asked my newsletter audience what tricky conversations they were avoiding and what was holding them back from having the difficult conversation. I heard from a number of my followers, and one in particular stood out. I'm going to call her Jenny, and Jenny said to me, Leah, I am avoiding a whole heap of conversations, but the common factor in all of them is they're about money. And the reason I'm avoiding them is money conversations are totally out of my comfort zone because of the way I've been socialized. We don't talk about money. That's impolite and rude. And addressing this issue is embarrassing, it's uncomfortable, and I don't have all the answers. I can't just fix the problem, so I'm avoiding having it. Now, in my direct response to Jenny, because that's what I do, if you ask a question in response to my weekly email, I will personally respond to it. To Jenny was, of course, avoiding the tricky money conversation isn't going to make the problem magically disappear when we stick our head in the sand and pretend like, no, what money problem? There's no money problem. It only gets a whole lot worse, and we can end up in real financial trouble, particularly in this current environment. Now, I get it. These conversations can be uncomfortable. Like Jenny said, she has been socialized to avoid them. So how could she raise this conversation if she did decide to tackle it? Couple of pointers. The first one is acknowledge the discomfort. So I would start a conversation about this by saying something like, I want to raise something that is really uncomfortable for me to raise because I hate talking about money issues, or I've always been told that talking about money is not something you do, but I feel like this is really important. So you go from acknowledging the discomfort to explaining the why, particularly if this is with a partner or someone who might get defensive or antsy that you're raising it. And we have a negative bias, so they may feel under attack if you don't explain your positive intent. So it may be, but the reason I'm pushing past my discomfort to raise this is because I really care about our future, and I know that by avoiding this or sticking our head in the sand, it's only going to make matters worse. So I'm raising it because I want to protect our family, or I want to protect our relationship, or I want to make sure that we minimize the damage here. Acknowledge the discomfort, explain the why. The next piece that you want to make sure you do here, and I am looking down at my notes, is because that was the third bit where she said, because I don't have all the answers. So what can you do there is acknowledge that you don't have all the answers. So again, you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have the solve. Of course, do some thinking beforehand to make sure that if there is a suggestion, you've got one. But come at it collaboratively. You might say something like, now, I don't have all the answers here, but I'm hoping that if we put this issue in the middle of the table and shine a light on it, we can talk about it, come up with some ideas, and maybe find some solutions or better options together. Now, you are not guaranteeing that the other person is going to respond well. A lot of people have money issues. They may need some time to process it. They may not respond well in the first instance. But I really urge you to tackle this one. Avoiding it is where people get into real strife. So acknowledge this is uncomfortable to raise, explain the why, but I'm raising it because I really want to minimize the damage here, or because I care about our future. 3, I don't have all the answers, but I know that avoiding this is only going to make it worse. So can we talk about our next options together? It might be going and getting some free financial advice. There are free financial counsellors here in Australia, which is a wonderful service that you can access. I hope that helps, Jenny. If you have a communication, leadership, self-management, personal or professional question that you would like answered, send it through and I will do my best to answer it for you next week. Cheers and good luck out there, peeps.